Hello and welcome. Today we'll be talking about the Nitecore NU21. This is a lightweight outdoor hiking running type of headlamp. It features a included internal battery which is 500 milliamp hours. Dimensions are going to be 60.1 millimeters by 33 millimeters by 25.5 millimeters, and that includes the bracket, or 2.37 inches by 1.30 inches by 1 inch. Weight's going to be 44 grams or 1.55 ounces. There's several different LEDs that have different run times with the light. There's the ultra low mode, which is 6 lumens for 37 hours. We have a low mode for 60 lumens, and that's going to run for 8 hours. Then we have a medium mode for 170 lumens, and that's going to run for 3.5 hours. And then we have a high mode, which runs for 360 lumens for about 2 hours. The red light's going to run at a constant on at 5 lumens for 26 hours. And then it has a slow flashing mode for 10 lumens, and there's no reported runtime for that. The white light also has a SOS and a beacon function. There's an impact resistance of 1 meter and a water resistancy of IP66 with this headlight. The headlight also features a power indication LED level meter at the top, and also features thermal throttling, which helps dissipate the heat and lower the output settings when light gets too hot. We also have a lockout and unlockout mode with the UI system as well. Here we have the Nitecore NU01 and the strap, the bracket, and we have the included charging cable, micro USB-C, the box that it comes in, top of the box, sides of the box, and the back here, and the manual with all the specifications and literature. The front of the Nitecore has a unique array. It's got this frosted diffuse TR reflected optic. We have a piece of protective film on the front end to keep from getting scratched. You can remove this once you get the Nitecore light. We have 2 red LEDs here on the top and bottom, and 2 of the same white LEDs on the horizontal plane. This comes in black, yellow, and white. We have the white model here. This was sent out for review by Penny from Nitecore, so thank you for sending it out for review. And let's get on into the body of the Nitecore. On the top we have the buttons here. We have a on-off button and a mode button. They do function as on-off buttons too for various LEDs and changing the mode and UI systems. On the back of the bracket we have a piece of foam here, and as well as the holders for the shock cord. And this can tilt up and down, and has a good arc of tilting up, back to front. It's got an audible click. On the back we have the literature, 500 milliamp hours at 3.7 volts with the built-in type of lithium-ion battery, made in China, and the CE marking there. And on this side we have the USB-C port, which has a little tab to pull out. We can access the USB-C charging port there, and we can close it back up, and it says IP66 on it. Just make sure you push that in closed nice and tight so that it does not get water into it. And we have the back of the toggle here, and we can see it says Nitecore on here. Here's the button release for changing the sizing, and this is the other side of it. So that's the physical rundown of the Nitecore NU21. Very sleek and thin looking light. Let's go ahead and get into the modes here. So to access the ultra low, you would double press the on button here, 1, 2, and we get the load mode. To cycle through, push once, and it goes to low mode, goes to medium mode, then it goes to high mode, and then it just cycles from low, medium, and high, and it skips the ultra low mode. To switch over to the red LEDs, push the mode button, and now we have the red LEDs here at 5 lumens. To change the operation of the red LEDs, instead of pushing mode to get back to the white, we're going to push the on-off button here to cycle between the constant on and the blinking mode on the red LEDs here. And to turn that off, simply hold down the on-off button and it'll turn it off. To engage the special mode for the white, double-click mode twice, 1, 2, and we are in SOS mode. And if we push mode again, or rather we push the on-off button, it should change the mode on the white LEDs, and we're in beacon mode right now. Push and hold the on-off button to turn it off, and that's it. To engage the red LEDs, you can also push on the mode and hold it down if you like, and that'll engage the red LEDs. And once again, you can change the operation of it with the on-off button. Seems a little counterintuitive going back and forth between the buttons. I don't think of them as on and off and mode buttons. I think of it just right and left, and that sort of combination kind of makes it a little bit less confusing for me to get the UI down right. Now on the top here, you'll notice there's 4 LED lights here. These tend to light up. You can check the power status by pushing the mode button real quick once. As you can see, that lights up. All 4 LEDs lit up, so that's between anywhere from 80% to 100%, and then so on and so forth as it goes down. When you plug in a charger, this will light up and blink as to which level the battery is approximately. So that's a nice little added feature and little UI bonus with the Nitecore NU21 for charging. I'm going to go ahead and get some quick table shot, beam shots of this, and then we'll go outdoors and do a little bit more nighttime shots. Okay, we're back shooting an Aperture 5.0 on a Panasonic GH2, 24 frames per second, ISO is 160, white balance is going to be 5000K, and we're doing a shutter speed of 1/48, or the equivalent of that on a Panasonic GH2 UI system, and we have the light in its ultra low mode here, and we're measuring lux, CCT, which is the color temperature, and CRI rating, and it's on a high CRI LED arrangement. We're holding the light about roughly now a foot above the meter, and we're getting about 201 lux, about 5500 or so temperature rating, so on the cooler side, and low CRI, which is about 69 to 64 on the ultra low mode. Now let's go to the high mode, or rather the higher floor mode, which is the low mode here. And low, we're going to get about 1400 lux and about the same CCT and CRI rating. Go to medium, and we're about 4000 lux or so. Same CCT, same CRI rating, and finally 360 lumens out or so. Once again, this is only about a foot off the table, and we're about 7500 lux or so. Same CCT and same CRI rating. And we'll go back to low here. Let's go ahead and get the red LEDs just for fun. And it's about 31 lux, and the CCT we can ignore because that's not going to be real accurate for the red LEDs. And let's go ahead and go back to the lower mode here. And let's go ahead and look from the low mode. We'll check our assessment for the BBL chart. It's a little bit on the greener side. And for the medium mode, still kind of on the greener side. And also for the highest mode, around the greener side. Now again, this is just estimates for the light measurements. Okay, let's put this away and look at the beam shots really quick. So let's turn this off, double click, we're in low mode. The beam profile is very smooth, no real artifacts in it. It's got a nice throw, nice diffusion. Let's go to low mode. Once again, very diffuse, nice throw. Not much like a true thrower, but it has a little bit more of a punch than a typical flood beam. And we're on medium now. Again, same thing, just on a bigger scale. And then finally, we're on the highest mode, 360 lumens, and it looks like a good, decent, medium range type of headlamp. Let's go to the red LEDs for a second, and we can guys see a little bit of the artifacting in the red LEDs, but that's okay. For red LED, it's not as much of an issue, at least in my opinion. And that is our beam shots for the light here. We're in flashing mode now. Let's go ahead and turn this off and double click, and we can see the side profile again. That's ultra low, low, medium, and then high. Okay, we're back shooting on an Aperture f2.8, ISO's 10,000 on a Panasonic GH6 with a white balance of 5000K, 24 frames per second, and 1/48 of the shutter speed. Here we have the light on in low mode here, and you can see my hand here. I'm wearing the headlamp, and we'll look at the white LEDs. We're going to bump it up to the low mode from the ultra low mode rather, and we can see just up ahead where grass is. This is not a thrower LED, but you can see the brightness level has increased. Let's go ahead and bump up again to the medium setting. We can see the trees here to our left and the creek. And further out, you can kind of see the log about 20 feet over. Let's go up to high mode, and we get more of a diffusion beam. We can see a log at about 30 feet out, and some of the other logs about 40 feet out. Once again, this is not a thrower type of headlamp, but we do have a good diffuse beam in front of us, a good light up pathway, if you will. Let's go ahead and pan this over to the left a little bit so you can see on high mode what it looks like. And that's on high mode. Let's bump it back off to ultra low. And let's go to low here. And let's go to medium. And then back to high. And for reference, let's switch over to the red mode. And really can't see that far out with red mode. Swap it back over to the high mode here and turn our camera to the right. So those are the modes for the headlamp. Here we can see the Nitecore NU21 being charged. We can see the charging meter here and the USB-C charging port, and it's about 28.28 amps current draw at a 5.11 volt current, and it is kind of fluctuating between 0.27 and 0.28, so that's roughly 270 milliamp hours of current draw into the battery. So that is our charging rate via the USB-C input. Overall, the Nitecore NU21 is a decent headlamp. It features multiple LEDs, which give a good variety of practicality and functionality with it. I particularly like having a multicolored type of LED, red, and usually a high CRI and a white LED. This only has the white LED and a red LED, which is okay for a headlamp. It's not the end of the world. The housing unit is a bit plasticky, so it's not going to stand up to heavy use, but then again, this is designed to be a lightweight option, meaning durability is going to suffer for that. The shock cord headband is a nice touch. A lot of these newer lights are coming out with shock cord headbands because it's a little bit lighter and easier to maintain in some cases. I like that this light has a mode button on the top, which indicates the battery status, and you can see it when you charge it with the USB-C. I do like that about this light a lot. The TIR reflective optic inside of here is plastic, and it's slightly different for each light. So one has a little bit more of a throw, the other one's a little bit more diffuse. So it gives you a nice mixed range of a medium range thrower and floody type of LED. The teeth arrangement on the light is okay. It's not the best, but it does click into place and stays in place. There's a little bit of movement there, but you probably won't know that as you're using the light, to be honest. And in certain levels, it doesn't seem as loose. So that is something to note. It is a little bit comfortable with this pad here, but this will wear down over time. Overall, though, it's a decent entry-level, lightweight, ultralight type of headlamp versus, say, my Nitecore NU17 headlamps, which I typically pack in each of my kits. And this, I wish, did have a certain high CRI option with the light, or at least a warmer tint option. I think that would be nice to have in a Nitecore product, so such as this one. But overall, it's a decent headlamp. Again, this was sent out for review by Penny. Thanks again, Penny. I do appreciate it. One thing to keep in note that Nitecore is a Chinese company, so you want to kind of look into it and the practices. I personally don't have too much trouble with Nitecore products. I've been using them for years, so that's just my personal bias there. And again, would I recommend this for hiking and camping? Probably, just based on the functionality and use of it. It does include multiple LEDs, which I do like, and a rechargeable battery system, and it is a little bit more waterproof than your typical IPX4 rated light. That's all I have to say about the Nitecore NU21. Let me know what you guys think, and thank you for watching.